Welcome back, you guys. I am so excited to get into today's video because I have been having so much fun with the new palette from Arttitude Cosmetics. We have the Arcana palette. So I actually got mine a little bit late, but I don't ever miss a launch from them because they are one of my top favorite brands, and I am loving this more muted yet still vibrant color story, and I've already been having so much fun with this. I cannot wait to show you guys the looks that I've created. Maybe give you some inspiration for what you might already have in your collection, share my thoughts in case you were interested in picking it up, and all of the things. But let's go ahead and get into it. So if this is your first time here, my name is Heather, and I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup and indie brands. And if you happen to love those things too, I really hope you will stick around and subscribe. Don't forget to click the little bell so you can be reminded of all my future uploads. And with that being said, I am so excited to show you guys these swatches because this palette swatched like a freaking dream. Like I said, these shimmers are so beautiful. Their shimmers are always beautiful, but I really love these ones. The shifts and just, they're so impactful. Okay, so this is a 16 pan palette. You have a mix of mattes. You have 10 mattes actually. Shimmers, metallics, duochromes, and multi-chrome finishes. And it retails for $62 US. If you guys are interested in picking it up, I will have it linked down below along with all of the other products that I wear in both looks. But I'm excited to just go ahead and get into this look because I had so much fun creating this today, and I think the color combo was really fun, and I love the bright pop of color. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and actually get into it. I'm so excited for the look I have planned today with the new palette from Arttitude Cosmetics. It's so beautiful. I love the artwork on this one. It looks so fun. But as always, I did a whole highlight concoction again today. So I did the Pillow Talk blush from Tilbury, and I did the Dexter and Lethal Cosmetics highlight. I'm gonna end up going through this thing because I've been using this a lot lately, and I'm sure you guys know by now I've been like trying to mix it with all of the different highlighters in my collection. I don't know what's up with the stuttering today, but I mixed it with the two I have from NYX. These are the BUTTERMELT highlights. I have the shades BUTTERMINT and No One Butta, but I think it looks really cool. They look really good together, and I think the whole vibes of it go so well with this palette. But for lips, I started out with the ABH Muted Mauve, and I'm actually trying out a new product that I picked up from ColourPop. So this is the ColourPop Hydra Pop Glossy Lip Stain. And we're going to try and see what the stain power looks like at the end. But so far it looks like this. Hopefully it goes with the look, because if not, I'm kind of stuck with it at this point unless I cover it with liquid lipstick. So fingers crossed it works out. So I did start out with the DIEVERUNE color and cover because I want to start out using the shade Legends in the inner corner. I have the look over here on my phone because I swatched it out on my hand earlier, and I didn't want to forget it because I think it's going to be really good. So I'm going to start by using the E06 from Singe, and we're going to dip into that shade. I get so excited when there's a new Arttitude launch, and my video is coming up late because I did have to pick this up a few days after it launched, and I got stuck in customs forever. The shade is like super pigmented, so you probably don't even need it on a white base. I just wanted to really make it pop, which is why I did that, but we'll try it on the lower lash line as well. That way you can see it used both ways. This look should be pretty easy to recreate, but I am really excited about it because I think it's a really fun look. The shimmers in this palette are so beautiful as well. I'm so excited to play with them, but first, I mean, obviously, we do have to do the mattes. So I'm going to use the E04, and we'll go ahead and put this shade down here on the lower lash line. And it does work pretty good down there on a set base as well. Not as good as the white, I can admit, but pretty good. Okay, so starting with the E08, I want to dip into this shade, Truth. Starting with the more nude shade, but I'm going to use this in the rest of the crease. This is going to be like the base. This is the first look I saw with the palette, and I'm excited. Hopefully it comes together, but honestly, I really feel like it will. Now using an E06, I'm just gonna pack this on in the crease. So I kind of wanted to, I've been filming with the Odin's Eye palettes, and so far I have filmed with 2 of them, but I wanted to kind of do a little break in between and film with this palette. That way I wasn't like only showing Odin's Eye palettes for days, you know what I mean? And I've had this one in my hand for a few days too, so I wanted to be able to use it sooner rather than later, especially since it sat in customs for so long. But I am very, very excited to be playing with it today. Now I want to use my E11 from Singe and go into this shade, Folklore. And I'm going to use this to run across the lower lash line. I love how muted this color is. Really, the whole palette is very muted with a few like brighter pops. I think it's very fun. And then I'll take the E04 with that shade Truth and just use this to blend out the edges. Using an E06, I'm going to go back into Folklore now. And I'm just going to run this through the crease up here. And pretty much just press this in. This is a fun combo with that more like taupey shade. Kind of like grounds the look, I feel like. Which I don't always like, but it can be fun if I do say so myself. I'm going to switch to the E25 now and use that same shade in the crease. This is just going to help me build it up faster. Then I'll just use the E08 with the shade on it and blend out the edges. But I told you guys in a previous video, I've been reading the Legends of Desmar series, and I just finished book 4. Now I have to wait. I think that's the end of the series actually. But there's another like spin-off to the series, but it's her sister's story of like after the war, and I just started it today. But I really loved the first series. It was really good. I will say, like, it gets a little spicy in parts to where it becomes a bit much, but the storyline is still like really, really good. So if you don't mind the spiciness, I do recommend it. It has a fantastic storyline, great character development and stuff. It is more of a fantasy type of thing though, so you definitely would have to be into that, but I do like it a lot. Very muted vibes, like I said, but now I want to add a pop of color, so I'm gonna just, oops, I didn't mean to put that powder on my highlight, but I'm gonna just use this makeup wipe to clean off a spot right here. Then I'm going to go in with some more of my Color and Cover primer paints. and a little flat brush. And I'm just gonna fill this in kind of like a cut crease situation. That way I'm putting that matte on something. Doesn't have to be perfect because it is going to be covered by shimmers anyway, but I just want it to really make that color pop. Technically you could use concealer instead of like a primer like that. I usually use concealer anyways, to be honest. So what do I want to use? What brush? Let's just do the E06. I'm going to clean this one off. And we're going to dip into the shade Dragon. It's such a fun, bright pop of color. And I'm just going to press this here. Oh, I love that. That is so fun. I think I'm going to switch to the E27 though, from Sigma, so I can be precise. Now I'm going to see if I can just use some more of that shade Folklore, the deep shade I did in the crease, to blend this outer part. I think I probably am going to add a little more depth, so I'm going to use just a little bit of this shade to depth on an E30 pencil brush. I really don't want it to take over the look because I want that pop to be the focus of color for the mattes, and I think it's still giving that, which makes me happy. I think I'm going to take some of that shade as well, that deep shade depth on the E08. We're going to add some of this just a little bit down here. I'm trying to be careful with my eyes because yesterday I had such a hard time with my allergies trying to finish that last look with the winter palette with from Odin's Eye. My eyes were a mess. I had such a bad allergy day yesterday, which always sucks. Now let's move on to shimmers. So I'm gonna go in with the CLIONADH glitter glue. I'm so excited for the shimmers, but who's surprised? I know you're not. So we're gonna just press this halfway over, like part of the matte situation, because I do want it to overlap just a bit. Okay, so the first shimmer I was drawn to is obviously this one. It looked pretty in the pan, and it's so gorgeous swatched as well. It's just so beautiful. And it truly does not disappoint. I need a E01 brush because I need something to help me put it in the inner corner. Or the inner part of the lid anyway. But this shade is so pretty. Honestly, the shimmers in this palette are pretty, but I'm not surprised. I always love their shimmers, like a lot. I think I want to do some of that on the lower lash as well. So I'm going to use this little CLIONADH brush. Yeah, that's really pretty there. I love that. But I do think I need something to help these two kind of merge. Or do I want to bring this over just a little more? It definitely needed to come over more, but I still think I want to add something to make them like merge together a little better. So I think I'm going to do this shade. Scales. The E's in the print kind of look like O's. Oh yeah. That's it. I'll use a different E30 pencil brush and go back into Dragon and just blend that. And then go back into this shade, but I'll switch brushes to the other E30. I love it. Okay, last finishing touch. I want to do some of this shade Mystery on or in the inner corner. So I'm just doing this one on a dry brush. I just want a little extra twinkle. And that's it. I love this. I think it's so pretty. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think though, but that shimmer on the lid, but especially with that bright pop, I am here for it. But I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. I am back with the finished look, and the same thing that I was afraid would happen actually happened, and the lip ended up not really matching the look. So I changed it out for the shade Ash from Unearthly. This is a part of their 5-piece sorcery set that just restocked. I think it's available for pre-order, but I love it. It's one of my favorite like lip sets because all of them are like really awesome cool tone colors. I love them very much, but I think this one goes so well with the eye look, and the eye look came together in the best way in my opinion. I love the shimmer on the lid with that bright blue and like on the outer part. I think it's beautiful. But for liner, I did the shade Exit and the shade Electric from LA Girl, and I love the way it looks in the waterline. Adds like an extra little pop to it. But I did the lashes in Adorn, and I used the Maybelline mascara in Firework and the Lash Idol from Lancome. And I love the look. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it, but let's go ahead and move on to look number 2. I'm excited to get into look number 2. So I'm loving the base, the lips, everything, especially this lip product. But for blush today, I used my Mermaid Magic palette from Gourmand Girls. So I did get this one in PR, but I love everything in it. So I used mostly this blush, but I did use a little bit of this one, and then I did these 2 highlighters, and I think they are really beautiful. I used a little bit of the Dexter one because I've been trying to mix them in most of my looks lately just to see like what they look like, because I've noticed everything's been mixing well with that one, but it's mostly just these 2 highlighters, but I do think it's a beautiful combo. But for my lips, I used another one of those liquid lipsticks from the Unearthly 5-piece sorcery set. So this is in the shade Dreary, and I love it. It's like kind of chocolatey, but it has like this deep plummy undertone to it that's really beautiful. And I just used Cafe from Unearthly to line my lips a little. But I love it. I think it's a vibe. Will it match the eye look? I don't know. We're just gonna go with it, honestly. But I'm excited for the look I have planned as well. So I think I really just want to play with these 2 mattes and the deeper matte, of course. And I think I want to do some of this shimmer because I think that could be really cool with the more pops of color. To have like that more silver shade, it would be really pretty. But I don't know. I was thinking maybe this one or this one. I don't know. We'll see once we get everything laid out. But I'm pretty sure I want to start with this shade Soar. We're going to do that all throughout the crease. And I'm going to start with the E06. So this is the shade I'm talking about. I really love the undertone of that. And when I swatched it out to see like what the color story would look on my hand, I thought the undertones together looked really awesome. So we're going to give it a try. So I'm just going to press this all throughout the crease. This time, it's just such a fun color. Kind of periwinkle. And I'm just going to work on building it up. And my Dreamcatcher earrings go so well with the whole vibe of the look, or at least I think they will. So I was excited to wear them today. And y'all, I need to do laundry like in such a bad way. I still haven't washed my clothes that I wore in Greece. I know, like I came home, got sick, and everything's like so behind now, as in the laundry department. And it's so bad now that I'm just overwhelmed. Like I want to hire someone to come do my laundry. It's so bad. I should not be putting this on the internet, but I have a bad habit of saying things I shouldn't. But you know, we're all friends here. I'm just being honest. Sometimes that laundry gets away from me. But I'm going to switch over to the E03 and we're going to pretend like I didn't say that, you know? And I'm just going to blend this up and around. These two colors together, it's good. I don't know if it'll still be good once I add the others, but for now, I think it looks really cool. This is like the color of Prance, the ColourPop liner. That's what it reminds me of. And I'm just going to keep working on building this up. Like, look at that dimension. It's beautiful. I just love their formula. It's so fun. Their palettes are really fun. But I will say, I love this color story. I love how cool and muted it is. I love the pops of color of it. But one thing for me that it's missing, that their palettes usually have, is that twist. And I do miss that in this palette. Now, that's not to say I don't like it. I do, but I do prefer some of the others in my collection from them, if I'm being like honest, but still a good palette nonetheless. So we're going to use that same shade on the E04, and I'm just going to run this along the lower lash line. Ooh, guys, you hear that thunder? And there goes my poor Nana. We've had so many storms like lately. It's been crazy, guys. You heard that one in the Odin's Eye Autumn palette. When I was editing that back, it sounded like it was still thundering. It was crazy. But we're gonna move this thing along, and I am gonna clean off the E06, and we're gonna go into the shade Dragon. The pigmentation is no joke. And I will say, the thing that about this palette that, like, it not having the twist, sometimes, like, okay, for instance, the Vintage Neutrals palette, I lost my mind over that palette. I thought it was so perfectly curated and beautiful. And same with Metamorph, especially Metamorph. I've heard other creators like review that one lower because they said they had a harder time creating with it because of the color story, but I love that color story. To me, that palette was like so inspiring and just fun to create with. So the thing, like this not having a twist, might actually be the thing that makes this palette other people's favorite. You know what I mean? It's a preference kind of thing. These two colors together are freaking fire. I love them. Those are cool. I'm going back in with that first original shade to just blend out the edges of that. Now, using the E11, we're gonna add a little of this down here too. I just think those together are so fun. But I do want to make sure I add a little more of that first shade back in, because I've lost it some and I don't want that to happen. I want you to be able to see like both shades. I don't know what I want to put in the inner corner yet, so I'm kind of just leaving that as is for now until I do the shimmers. Then I think I'll decide, just to see, because I might add like my twist with that, or just something more on the monochromatic vibes. But I do prefer a twist if I can get one in there somewhere. But now let's use this little brush, the E42 from Sigma, and go into depths and add some depth. And I'm just blending this mostly here in the outer corner, and then just go back in with this little brush to help blend those edges. Now this palette would go so freaking good with the urban neutrals. Those palettes would be beautiful together, and the Metamorph. Now we're going to go in with the glitter glue from CLIONADH, or the Shine On Shimmer Shadow Enhancer. And I'm excited to figure out what we're going to do with this shimmer situation. After I get this laid down, we'll kind of go through the process and try to figure it out together. This is the time that I wish we were live and maybe we could come up with something together. That could be really fun. Okay, so let's figure this out. I know I want to do this shade. I don't know why. I really do. But the question is, where do we place it and what goes with it? I mean, this is like an obvious choice that could be really cool. I'm pretty sure I did these two yesterday, so I'd kind of like to stay away from those. And other than that, we have this one. Those two could be really cool, so let's see. This one's distracting me. Okay, so I'm thinking we'll do this on most of the lid, maybe tap this in the center. So let's just go in with that. I don't know, let's just start with Treasure. And it's so pretty and like a high shine reflective. And I just feel like the contrast of those bright colors with this like really cool shimmer, like cool tone shimmer, is like such a vibe. So I think I want to take this one all the way in. That is awesome. I love that. So now we need to figure out what goes here. So like I said, we could do that. We could do that. That's Sorcery. That's a no. And then we have the Secrets shade, which is kind of awesome. Arcana, which I did yesterday. That's too light, I feel like. So we're between these two. I kind of feel like maybe this one, and that could be our twist. And then we could also do that pink, that light pink shade in the inner corner. So that's what we're gonna do. So first, let's do Secrets, the shade right here. And we'll just tap this here and have like this really nice pop of pink. But it does have like that multi-chrome shift situation going on. I'll have to, of course, blend those two. But I think that's really awesome. Then I'll take an E01. I see shimmer on the side of my nose when I look down, but I'm going to take the E01. We're going to go into Magic. And I'm just going to pop this here in the inner corner. Of course, this shade would look better on a white base, but as you can see, it does show up on this base as well. And I'm going to sweep it down here, down the lower lash line situation too. Honestly, I'm really pulling the vibes of this palette in, which is kind of nice. They go so well together, honestly. I'm going to take this that silver now on this little CLIONADH brush, and we're going to pop some of this on the lower lash line. Then, what else? Let's take the E01 I used with the shimmer, and I just cleaned it off, and we'll go into a little bit of mystery and do just a little bit of that in the inner corner, just to add a little more brightness and help kind of wrap that silver around, bring those two together. Taking a little bit of that shade Depths, we're just gonna blend this whole thing out here. Actually, let's do that on the E30 pencil brush from Sigma. There was a spot right there. I accidentally took that shimmer up a bit high. Just want to help those two like really bridge together. But I love this look even more than I thought I would. I think even more than I did the first one as well. Even with the chocolate lip, it's kind of a vibe. But I'm going to go finish this off camera, and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished look. I'm back with the finished look, and I love the way this came together. I think it's so beautiful. I did change out the lip combo, and I changed it. Even though I love that one, I just felt like this color would go better with the blush and then the eye look, so I changed it to the muted mauve. And I haven't used these lipsticks in forever, and I freaking love them. They're from Unearthly Cosmetics as well. This is the shade Cloudland. It's a lot like the one I wore yesterday, the shade Ash from the 5-piece sorcery set, but this one's a little bit darker. I love this. But for liner, I did 3. I did the shade Exit, and then I did Pink Spirit from NYX, and then Bathwater from Give Beauty, and I used my Lashidol from Lancome, and I opened a new pair of Flutter Lashes from the newly discontinued Bright Lashes. But like I said, I love this look. I think it might be my favorite out of the two. So I pretty much touched on my feelings about this one. You guys know I freaking love Arttitude Cosmetics. They are one of my top favorite brands. I love their formulas, both matte and shimmer, and a handful of the other products I've tried from them as well. I wish I could have picked up more from this collection, but unfortunately at the time it's just not in the cards for me. But I do think this color story is really beautiful. The shimmers are really, really beautiful. I'm glad that I picked it up. I'm glad that to have it in my collection. I had a lot of fun creating these looks, but like I said, for me this one's just missing that twist that I usually find in their palettes, which make them favorites for me. But with that being said, I still love the palette, so just keep that in mind. I'm just, you know, keeping it 100. So while I love the palette, love the color story, love the formula, it's just not my new favorite from them, if that makes sense. But you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think of the looks. If you picked it up, what do you think of it? Or even if you didn't, what do you guys think of the color story? What's your favorite color story from Arttitude Cosmetics, whether you've tried them or not? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Honestly, I have a lot of favorites from Arttitude. I really love the Metamorph. The Ink and Roses is a favorite. Honestly, all of them. The Vintage Neutrals, the Urban Neutrals, the fall one, Obsession, that one is really good. Like, there's tons of good options, but this one, it was a blast to play with. And again, I really love the artwork too. But all in all, this was just such a good time. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I really hope you will. And until next time, bye.